leadership. Recent spontaneous mass protests and demonstrations with large and heavy presence of regime's infamous security forces and apparatus shed light on dismal economic, social, and political conditions in which overwhelming majority of Iranians have faced during 39 years of reprehensible and tyrannical Islamic regime. Today, people of Iran face a grim and bleak prospect and future as they grapple with mass unemployment, economic collapse, unimaginable repression, environmental degradation, barbaric treatment of social and political activists, women, ethnic and religious minorities all across the board. The Islamic government of Iran is currently among the leading executioner of prisoners per capita in the world. This regime, with vast oil revenues and access to newly released billions from a flawed and short-sighted nuclear deal under the previous administration, chooses to spend billions of dollars of Iranian nation's assets on export of terrorism and support and maintenance of its armed proxies all across the region, especially in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Lebanon, while average Iranian citizens struggle on a daily basis to provide basic staples and necessities for their families and children. Today, after almost 4 decades of unbridled corruption and nepotism by highest officials of Islamic regime and its paramilitary terrorist force, the Islamic Republic Guard Corps, IRGC, the country is in cusp of an economic collapse and meltdown, while the Islamic regime has maintained and intensified its expansionist policies in the region by spending billions of dollars on threatening its neighbors with advancing ballistic missile technology and never-ending quest to acquire nuclear weapon material and technology. Ongoing and current wave of mass protests and display of rage against the totality of Islamic regime and all of its so-called moderate and fundamentalist factions, including the dubious reformist president who took office with empty promises of economic and social political reform, makes it abundantly clear that the Iranian nation as a whole is demanding real change and is seeking an end to this tyrannical and murderous regime. There are credible reports circulating that suggest the Islamic regime is in early stages of a massive crackdown and retaliation by security and paramilitary forces, including IRGC members, to crush and subdue any and all form of public protest in the country in coming days. As of today, there are 22 reported casualties, including 3 underage children who have lost their lives in the hands of Islamic security forces. There are also thousands reportedly injured and or are arrested. Human rights groups and observers suggest that the recent claims by the Islamic government that blame the current public protest on foreign intelligence services and nationals is a precursor to an impending crackdown and new wave of mass arrests and executions. Dear friends, as member of larger Iranian community here in Atlanta, we are honored and delighted that President Trump and his administration have vehemently voiced their concerns and support for Iranian nation's aspirations for democratic change and their struggle to achieve democracy and freedom.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you.
As you know, President Trump's repeated support for democracy and human rights in our homeland is a far cry from the previous administration's decision not to support the mass protests of 2009 and condemnation of ensuing crackdown that followed. At the end, we would like to take this opportunity to thank you for attending this gathering in support of ongoing struggle of Iranian people for democracy and freedom. There is no doubt in our mind that the day will come when the Iranian people would rid themselves of this tyrannical and murderous regime. Rest assured that there is a better and brighter future that awaits the great nation and great people of Iran. No to Islamic Republic, no to murder. Yes to democracy, yes to freedom. Iranian Patriots Association of Atlanta.